I never believed in ghost stories. You hear them, sure, but they're just that, stories. When I inherited the old house from a distant relative, I didn't think much of the rumors swirling around it. The locals in town whispered about the place, how it had been abandoned for decades, and how no one who stayed there ever felt alone. But I wasn't about to let some old wives' tales scare me off. The house was mine now, and I was determined to make it my home. The first night I moved in, the place felt odd, too quiet. Like the air itself was waiting for something. I tried to shake off the feeling. It's just nerves, I told myself. But later that night, as I lay in bed, I felt it, the unmistakable sensation of being watched. I shrugged it off at first. Houses like this made strange noises, right? Creaks and groans from settling wood. But that feeling, that heavy, suffocating awareness of eyes on me only grew stronger every night. I could feel it from the shadows, something observing me just beyond my sight. Then the footsteps started. At exactly 3:00 a.m., I would hear them, slow, deliberate footsteps echoing down the hallway. They started at the far end of the house and got closer, each night stopping just outside my bedroom door. I tried to ignore it. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. But when I finally gathered the courage to open the door, there was never anyone there. Just cold air that hung around like a breath on the back of my neck. I had to know what was going on. So one night I set up a camera in the hallway facing my bedroom door. I figured if there was anyone or anything there, I'd catch it on film. That night, the footsteps returned louder than ever, and this time I didn't dare open the door. I listened, heart pounding, as they came closer and closer, stopping right outside my room. And I could hear breathing, soft, shallow breaths, like someone was standing there, waiting for me to open the door. The next morning, I rushed to check the footage. At first, it looked normal, just an empty hallway, but then at exactly 3:00 a.m., a figure appeared on the screen. Tall, dark, a silhouette standing at the far end of the hall, facing my bedroom door. It didn't move, it just stood there, watching. Then it vanished just like that, no sound, no movement, gone. I was terrified, but I wasn't about to let some shadow scare me out of my own home. I decided to leave. But when I tried to open the front door, it wouldn't budge. I pulled and yanked, but it was like the house had locked me inside. Panic clawed at my chest. That night the footsteps came again, but this time they didn't stop at the door. I could hear the creak of the floorboards as they crossed the room. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. It was in the room with me, and I could feel it standing over me, watching me. The next thing I remember is darkness, cold, endless darkness. When they finally found the house, everything was untouched. My bed was neatly made, my belongings still in place. The only strange thing was the camera still recording, pointed at my door. And there, in the doorway, was the same dark figure standing, watching. The silent watcher is a reminder that sometimes the things we can't see are closer than we think.